Hey guys, welcome to Cars and Health Bars. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about red flags on Facebook Marketplace buying cars. Also, on the gaming side of things, we'll be getting into what games we would like to see turned into movies and why that is. With that being said, let's get right into it. So I've got some stuff at the top of the show before we get into the meat and taters of everything. With two big things coming close, I wanted to start doing kind of like a weekly countdown of these two things that I'm especially looking forward to. Of course, Jordan 2 on the LS Fest side of things. We are 22 days away from LS Fest, and man, I'm ready.
You got them tickets, boy?
No, I'm gonna be buying them tomorrow. Tomorrow payday, you know the deal.
Oh, I understand.
Gotta buy them 3-day car show tickets. Get
It's
the
like
best.
hitting them lotto tickets after work, am I right?
That's right. And then, of course, on the gaming side of things, we got Party Animals 34 days away. That's going to be very exciting.
Let's see how that compares.
I'm ready for a new, refreshing party game, so I cannot wait for Party Animals.
Yeah, hopefully it's crossplay. I think is it supposed to be?
Yes. And it's going to be on all platforms other than Nintendo, I think. So it's going to be on PS, Xbox, and PC.
All the homies be on it.
For real, dude. Like, that's going to be great. And in other news, I've kind of talked about my stall here and there. So hopefully we got all that worked out. It looks like it's going to be here hopefully next week, I think, is what me and the tuner were talking about. So got that to look forward to. I'm sure maybe me and Jordan might get bored and make a video of us doing that. Who knows? We'll see.
That'd be an easy video, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we can just go ahead and get into our cars topic today. So just as much as I know as they're women like to point out red flags, as they say, and you're always hearing about girls saying guys are red flags. Well, what if we turn it around and say, what are some red flags we see in women? I'm just kidding. But I do want to do a red flags on Facebook Marketplace. Me, of course, I've been doing a lot of shopping on Facebook Marketplace, looking for a daily, and I mean, as much as I do, there are humongous red flags whenever you're car shopping on Marketplace, especially for something older, or a project car, or a older project car.
Owned.
Yeah, mechanic. That let's just get right into it. That is a great one that I didn't even think about. Mechanic owned or a mechanic special. You gotta love those.
You
mechanic
already know
specials.
you're doing the bare minimum. You making flat rate. You think we got time to work on our own shit?
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do is, as soon as you clock out, go back to your bay and roll in your piece of crap, not even get paid to work on it, because it's yours.
Trying to roll that box out, not roll a car in.
Yeah. I'm sure you have some that you have in particular, but me, I'm fresh on it, man. I'm on Marketplace. Probably my screen time on Sundays is probably like 90% Facebook, and it's like on Facebook Marketplace. I go there for memes occasionally, but most of the time I'm on Marketplace, admittedly.
I'd be on there quite a bit. So yeah, definitely mechanic owned for me.
What about
Let me think.
what about cars with title issues? Like, missing title, I get it. Some older cars like rollers and stuff, they kind of, especially they're going to be drag cars. But, personally, I came across a 350Z not long ago. It was a 2007 model, and it had title issues. I'm like, I bet this stolen.
Yeah, especially up north with scat packs. Yeah, I'd just not even buy one, honestly.
After going through the huge title issue I did, and mine wasn't even a title issue. Mine was a out-of-state title, but the car had the VIN all like water corroded, so like it was illegible. Dude, I went through probably two months worth of like just headache talking between the sheriff, and it was out of state, so I had to go to 2 different courthouses, and it was like, dude, it was such a pain. And God bless them, Barron County Clerk's office, but y'all are some hard people to deal with whenever it comes to stuff like this, because even the sheriff, I won't disclose him, but like he was like, man, if I was you didn't hear this from me, I would I'd just tell him to apply for a lost title. I'm like, but I have the title, man. He's like, yeah, but this VIN situation, man. He said, I would just do that. But He ended up doing some old timer trick where you put a piece of paper over the corroded VIN and you use a pencil to just shade back and forth. And he got
Oh
enough.
yeah,
He got enough out of it. And he's like, "Man, you're good." He said, "I know you've been dealing with this for a while." That's like, "Thank you, sir."
homie hooked you up.
He did. You have no idea. I was because like literally the center part of that VIN was like there was literally a hole of corrosion through the VIN plate. Like you could not tell like a good 4 or 5 characters out of it.
Dang.
So this is something you can attest to. So and this is like I really hate it whenever people do this because you're really putting a lot of faith in the seller. It's cars that have like seemingly simple issues or like they have like one or two things that they need fixed to run, like say a misfire
Yeah.
or yeah stuff like that.
So it's either A, they're being honest and it does just need that one thing, or B, they just think it needs that one thing and they've done no actual diagnosing or anything.
Or there's a way worse issue and they're just blaming it on like the simplest issue
Yeah,
to sell it.
like it's a head gasket failed, and they're like, oh, it needs an engine oil cooler, like it's the head gasket.
It white smokes, but that's just that ain't no big deal. And
Yeah, the valves are still
yeah.
worn on the guide.
Or that this is another one I've came across. It's not I don't come across it as often, but it's another honesty thing. It's like whenever you see stuff that's like it's a super good deal, but at the very end, like you're sitting here wondering why is it a good deal? It's got a clean title, it's got low miles, and then at the bottom it says just lost interest, in the build, and it's like, but you're at the finish line. Like
Yeah.
it just needs like one thing.
Turns out the car's actually halfway apart.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those on Marketplace. That's definitely, another red flag I got on Marketplace.
Uh-huh.
Anytime I see an import with like a sad boy sticker or a big window banner, I'm like, nope, nope.
Oh yeah,
nope.
that thing's been through the ringer.
You just know it's a clapped out. Just needs to go to the scrapyard, honestly.
Yeah. Like that thing's done been through like 10
It's not
clutches.
safe to drive to church. Like, it's not safe to drive anywhere.
That thing ain't seen a front end alignment since like it left the dealer.
Nah, they just use their eyeballs and were like, yeah, that's got camber. That's good enough.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, that especially me, I'm looking for an import. It's like, golly, if I see like I try not to be too biased against like younger guys because we are one and we definitely put our cars through it. But like these really young guys, especially a sad boy guys, dude, they're not mechanics. They don't know what they're doing. Like if they're grinding it till they find it, they don't even know they're doing nothing bad. They're just sending it,
For
brother.
sure.
Like, what's that sound? You'd be like, hey man, you're not supposed to grind the gears when you're changing gears. Be like, oh, I thought that was normal. That would not even surprise me. It just does that.
Yeah, that transmission ain't synchronized. What you mean?
So what about the biggest red flag of all? And I'm talking about the little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Check engine light.
I don't know. I think the scratch mark is the biggest red flag for me.
The scratch mark?
Yeah,
What are you referring
Bruh.
to?
like over a headlight.
Oh,
like
Kyle
a
scratched your
monster.
headlights? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's
I see that, I'm automatically turned off from that vehicle. I'm just like, wow.
I see a Nissan Altima every day on the way leaving work that has one on his. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Ultima.
Like,
The Ultima is the red flag of Facebook Marketplace, though. Let's be honest.
I literally had that meme happen this morning. I was like going 15 over on the Parkway, doing 85 and a 70. And I'm like, dude, who is on me right now? I was like, it's gotta be a cop about to pull me over. I'm like, I recognize those headlights. So I get over. Dude, this Nissan Maxima was doing mock Jesus going down Natcher. I was going like
I'm
85.
not surprised.
He passed me like I was the pace car in NASCAR, dude. It's like I just let him go.
It always be the Nissans, dude.
Literally, like I'm the pace car, and I just got out of the way for him. Homie went
Homie is
mock
making a
Jesus.
lap.
And there was not an exit in sight, and I never seen him again, dude. He was rolling on.
Jeez.
It's like, I swear, I love those memes so much. Trish is like that too. And it's funny too, because now the memes get a little bit more specific. They're like, every CNA in a Nissan Maxima.
Yeah, it's always a nurse too, though. Let's be real. Let's be real.
And like Trish, my mutual friends of ours be like, Trish, you drive fast. You know, her parents like, you drive fast. I'm like, Trish, I'm just gonna go ahead and put NASCAR numbers on the side of your terrain. But yeah, getting back to the check engine light, you know, a lot of people could, I mean, they could blame it on anything. And you know, if you're just a simple guy, a guy simpler than us and don't have a code reader, or you know, God forbid you just go off what the seller's saying, and he's like, yeah, it's just, you know, I had the catch removed and never deleted the O2 sensor code. Lo and behold, it's like rod knock, you know, cam phaser or cam position sensor, anything. You know, it could be literally the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it could be whatever. You
engine failure.
Yeah, it could be engine on its way out, and you're just like, oh no, it just has like a lifter going out. No,
Yeah.
that's rod knock.
That's why, like, I swear, from where I got screwed so bad on my last marketplace car, whenever I go to buy my import, I'm gonna take Caleb if I can, but if I can't, I'm gonna take you, because I know for sure I'm getting a stick car, and you know, I can drive manual, of course, but I haven't drove it in so long. I probably couldn't tell if a clutch was getting there. I could tell if a clutch was shot, but if a clutch is starting to show like wear, you could definitely find that out before I would be able to feel it.
Yeah, I could definitely feel anything like slave for sure. Maybe not clutch, but
And that's
you can tell something wrong.
That's a hard one, really, for itself. If you're shopping for a manual, man, oh my God, dude, like, it's gonna be so hard for you to find a car that doesn't have a shot clutch, because that's like always the last thing somebody replaces. Because I mean, you can deal with a clutch for a while. I mean, like a clutch going out.
I did. It went on its way out, but it was 96,000 miles on a stock clutch. That's a lot.
Yeah,
I drug her out to 130.
If you already have it in your mind too that you're selling the car, like why would you? I mean, like, just leave it for the next guy.
Next guy's problem, not mine.
For real. I've got one more on mine, and then we can see what you've got. I've got a lot of people put this at the end too. Oh, of course, I've got another one talking about that. But whenever people say in no rush to sell,
Yeah.
like,
So do you not want to sell? Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, you've basically told me that if you wanted to tell me don't lowball, then just put that in the description. You might as well have just said don't lowball me. That brings me to the next thing. I got what I got. I know what I got.
yeah, that's the number one.
If your
everyone.
if your description says I know what I got, I'm not messaging you, because apparently you know more about your car than I do, and you need to go ahead and keep it, because you're gonna ask way too much for it.
You go ahead and keep it. You know what you got. I mean, it's clearly a 101.
We got a good buddy of ours that knows what he's got, and man,
Ha.
he's got to be the king of marketplace, man. Overpricing stuff. You know I'm talking to you, Sascooch. You be out here, man.
I ain't seen nothing in a while, to be honest.
He's gotten better. He does. He has mentioned before. He's like, yeah. He said, I definitely deserve it. Y'all talking about me about that. At least he understands. Yeah.
So,
you know,
I guess on to mine.
Yeah.
So, first thing we're going to do is any OBS pickup, okay? Let's just go ahead and get the water straight here. Okay, if you get an OBS off Marketplace, or even a Cat Eye or something, that bitch probably clapped. She probably just done, man. Like,
Chris
the last
Slater's
owner
truck.
was some kid in high school who just did not care.
Oh,
Thing's on its way out. That 5.7, 5.3, whatever you got,
Oh.
TBI, LS. I mean, it don't matter.
what about the old trusty 4L60 underneath it?
Don't even get behind the third transmission that's done been in red truck. I mean, we just know they go out. Like, everyone knows it. I don't know why there's so much hate for the 4L60, because you just know what's going to happen. Like, you're just hating on its nature.
Yeah.
Just build it or go to the junkyard. There's your options.
For sure.
You got a glorified turbo 350.
Well,
I wouldn't even know if I'd say glorified, but you got a turbo 350 with overdrive. Like, that's what you got.
I will give that to the 4L60s, because at least you have them with the mindset that they're going to eventually give out on you. Just like the I don't know what transmission was in the in like the third gen gas Dodges, but everyone I've seen that gets around the between 180 to like 230 mile mark, they go out. Third gear, it goes into limp mode. I can just tell you from like 4 different Dodges, those transmissions were not built to last. They were built to be rebuilt.
Sounds like 4 door latches.
You know all
Built to
about
be
that.
replaced. Yeah, I guess we can talk about another red flag of mine is any Ford Fiesta, non-ST, even ST really, and then Focus non-ST especially.
Oh, you know all about the Fords.
Man, don't even get me started. Like, it needs a clutch, okay? That transmission, every 40,000 miles, you're putting a clutch in that bitch.
40,000? No way.
Yeah, maybe not every 40, but you hit 80,000 miles on one of them without a clutch issue, either you're a damn, like, responsible driver who knows to like, warm up their vehicle when it's cold, like, they just drive their vehicle like a grandma.
Yeah.
If you ain't doing that, you replacing that bitch like every 60K.
Oh my god.
We'll say 60K for sure.
That's terrible.
There's extended warranty for a reason. There's extended coverage. I mean, everyone knows. And it's the same thing because you got the Fiesta with the 1.5 and the 1.6. I mean, you got block issues. You got transmission issues. I mean, those things are just junk. Why buy it? It's a walking red flag, honestly.
If you want to point out vehicles in particular that are red flags, we can't not talk about the 350s and the VQs. Yeah, anything with a VQ in it, whether it be a G37 or a 350Z, man, like those. If you find one that's not been clapped out by a teenager, you should be suspicious.
You hit the lottery, like, honestly.
You need to verify that it is an older person that has it, because there's no way.
You got like a grandma's weekend warrior, then you're good. But
Yeah.
you got some kid's first car, like, that he bought. Nah, ain't owning it.
And
Synchros are shot.
anymore, that's becoming any 90s model import too, unfortunately.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean, really, we could just say any blah blah WRX. I mean, you're probably looking at an engine soon after you buy it.
yep.
I can go on about that, really. Any STI, really, I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, like, I mean, it was one of our good friends' first cars. I mean, two of our good friends. I think it was both Dylan and Caleb's first car.
Yeah.
They're not bad cars. It's just like, that's a good learner car. That's it.
You don't learn about maintenance on one. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. What about the diesel guys that have like
I already.
400k miles and in the description it's barely broken in, brother? Okay.
Yeah, it's barely broken in. Okay. The body is shot, dude. There's rust through every corner on this cab.
I was about to say, yeah, that 12 is probably fine there, brother. But what about that hole in the floorboard, or that death wobble?
Frame.
Yeah, the frame's so shot that like not only does the steering have the death wobble that it comes with the factory, but the body shake is so terrible. Like, yeah, the cab is
rattles when you accelerate. Like, it's just like it's a rattle trap.
Yeah, I mean that's like my Dakota. Like, it's an '07, but like still that thing. If I start doing over like 80, I know I'm doing over 80 because that thing is like falling apart. It feels like. I can't imagine what any older like truck is doing at that kind of speed.
So if we're talking about diesel red flags, I mean,
there's tons.
We just got to talk about the elephant in the room here. I mean, 6064.
Yeah.
If he says he's just seeing what's out there, no, he's not. This thing done blew a head gasket. It done had an injector stick open. It done had gas ran through it. Something ain't right.
Yeah. Especially one that's suspiciously priced. Like, that's always what you got. Like, that thing, like, marked down for a reason there, brother. It got a clean title.
Because I'm working on other projects.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we know it's a project to own one, okay? We already know.
That's the classic right there. Like, yeah. I mean, that's what happened with my third gen. The guy was like, yeah, I just bought this S550 Mustang and lost interest in it. Like, no, you didn't. Like, this thing got issues. You sold it to me and said you had a good transmission. It was $1,000 to get that thing fixed.
For real.
That's case in point of how disingenuous people are on Marketplace. They just like make a quick buck and get out of there, SpongeBob.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know them. You can't trust them.
What I like is the bring a trailer specials whenever it's like something
Hmm,
simple. Like if it's something as simple as like a burned up plug wire, why are you telling me to bring a trailer? Like I can bring a plug wire with me, or like
for sure.
if it's a misfire, like I can drive it a decent way with a misfire. No, it ain't good on
We
it.
see people taking these barn finds out. Like, we can take a, you know,
When you tell me bring a trailer,
misfiring,
that tells
whatever.
me there's some more about this that you ain't telling me. It's
There's
like
something I need to know.
it's like a hostage interrogation trying to get a guy to give up what all's wrong with his car that he's trying to sell you.
It is. It's an ongoing investigation.
Yeah, and then whenever you do find out, like you being a mechanic, I mean, you go there and like the guy's like, yeah, it's been making this sound, but I think it's whatever, it's just a belt or whatever hitting. He's like, no, this is like rod knock, and the guy's like, oh, yeah, it's got rod knock. I just forgot to put that on the ad. I love that. Yeah, I just forgot to put that on there. Like,
Jeez.
yeah, you forgot to put on the main problem that's wrong with it. How convenient. I'm glad I drove out here.
5 hours later.
Yeah, that's you almost have to like I almost wouldn't feel bad to like guilt trip somebody be like, yeah man, this is all the money I got, I'm just looking for something good, and the guy be like, oh man, well, I hope the guy has some morality in his heart, be like, man, this is actually like a
Yeah.
terrible deal. Like there.
So one more thing I see on Marketplace that's red flags. Used parts.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a great
Man,
point.
there's good and then there's bad, and it's really hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah,
That's why I don't like shipping. I like to go and look local pickup.
I was kind of shocked that you didn't see the hole in that block on that LS3 that you sent me.
Dude, that picture never showed up to me. That's exactly why you look in person or message about it.
Yeah, I was like, homie, this thing got like a window to the oil pan right right here.
I couldn't see it, and I was like, you sent me that photo. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
I asked that guy, I was like, does this have a hole in the block? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh,
it's got like a 30 millimeter hole in the side going right to the
yeah.
crank. You put a new crank position sensor in there. That'd be perfect.
That starter just soaked in oil.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of that motor, I wanted to say, like, that thing's got that hole was right there above the motor mounts. I wonder how that felt whenever that rod, like, said hello to the engine mount.
It
Like,
probably like broke the AC compressor or something.
yeah. That car hit its last lick, brother.
It came through like Katy Perry on the wrecking ball.
Oh my god. You mean Miley Cyrus, but yeah.
Here, yeah, Miley Cyrus. Yeah.
You imagine like it's sitting there like, yeah, this thing's hitting a good lick, and then it hits its last like it eat its last haul.
Oh, you already know how that happened. That was uh probably in a manual car. I
Oh,
didn't see if it was flat top piston or not.
you think it was running approximately like 9K RPM?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think happened. I think he did the old neutral to the like I don't know what he did, like third, second to first, or
Yeah.
whatever. But
That rod bearing said, I ain't gonna be able to handle this one.
either way, he money shifted that sucker.
Yeah. That thing was
Or DOD lifter, maybe.
that thing was about to go real fast or go nowhere. That was that kind of pull.
Yeah, I mean that had to be a over rev.
Oh yeah. Hey, you yourselves help me. Like I have to ask you a lot of times because I'm slowly learning about cars, but you see these parts up close and personal every single day. It's like you definitely catch things that somebody normally wouldn't. Like I'm sure I've sent you plenty of blowers. You're like, oh, that's a decent price. That's usually what they go for. Like, no, this is missing such and such, and that's why it's so cheap. It's missing the lid. That's why it's so cheap. For example, it's just the lower. Yeah,
Oh, you gotta get a whole accessory drive during that.
that's pretty common. The lid especially is extremely common.
Especially on LSAs, a lot of people don't sell with the lid.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a good place to find parts, but that is also a big red flag in and of itself. Is like that part could be like super worn out, and you really not notice until you get it on your car and get running with it.
I'll tell you one thing that is good about Marketplace. Use tools.
Oh yeah, I haven't deviled in that.
Man, there's some good deals sometimes. I don't really do it too much, but I mean, you want like some slightly used impacts or something. I mean, Marketplace got you.
Really? That's pretty
Lots of
good.
like toolboxes, especially like toolboxes with tools in them. That's the whole thing. Like
I could
great value, really, for some.
I could see that too because a lot of the times, like people will decide, oh man, I'm getting tired of like Ryobi. I'm gonna switch to his Craftsman or not, maybe not
Or
Craftsman, but
they're
like
just done being a mechanic.
yeah,
They want to do
or
something
that.
else. Or
Yeah, well, I mean, my good buddy that I worked with my first job, he got out of machine tool completely. He put his toolbox, so it was a really good deal. I would have bought it if I had the money at the time, but yeah, he went back to trucking. It was a good deal. Just trying to get out of it, man. It's just taking up space. His loss, your gain. That's another phrase that they use that can either be good or bad. Is my loss, your gain. I like the people
no,
that
some people that use that phrase, they usually do pretty good.
yeah. I do like it though whenever people have something like super overpriced and they put my loss your gain like what are you losing?
Yeah, I'm losing a piece of me.
Oh, okay. Well, this could be a whole tangent in and of itself, but what about these, you see them way more than I do, these Corvette guys, especially the C6 guys, and in particular the C6
I
guys with
already
yellow
know.
C6s that have the rare such and such of such and such Z06 package with such and such and such and such. Like, what about those?
Man, I'll tell you what, if it's before '09 C6, I really don't even care about what it is because it's worth nothing to 90% of people who have a brain. Like, I mean, I really we could say '08 because that's when the LS3 came out, but
Yeah.
man, any LS2 Ford L Slippy, having C6, I'm not gonna own.
Yeah, but what if it's a rare 59 of 110 yellow C6 rapid yellow
Oh
whatever?
yeah, man, it's a Callaway, it's a '05, it's perfect. Homie, I ain't buying no '05 C6. I don't care freaking
I don't care about your knee
God, I don't
socks.
care if Jesus Christ like told me I needed that to get to heaven.
Oh my god.
Hey, that car is not being in my name.
That's me with a catfish. I mean, not really, but it was at one time for sure.
I ain't owning this. I'd rather have a catfish where I had an early C6 base.
That's like the guys are so obsessed with putting out the frame picture of the all the information. It's like what I just am picture those guys
Like
like
a stock car with the whole get up at the car show.
yeah, it's like I just imagine them at the Cracker Barrel. They take the time to set that all outside of their car before they go inside and
Yeah, it's
eat.
like, okay, I'm looking at a stock car. You're just telling me about that. Jeez, I can go on Wikipedia.
Yeah, I mean
Just
it's
trying to
true.
look at a car.
Yeah, I mean you
It
can
ain't,
look.
if it's all custom, I get that. But like if it's a stock car, dog, like you're trying too hard.
You could literally do that with any car. I mean, your Inferno Red is pretty rare. Like my Aspen is kind of somewhat rare. It's like every package they only made a few of whenever it comes to sports cars. It's not like you've got a freaking like what is that package with the R34s, the Spec R or whatever that's I can't think of what it is, but
R Spec
yeah,
2,
it's not
V
like
Spec
it's
2, I can't remember.
it's
I don't
not
know. I don't know the.
it ain't like you've got one of the last Corvettes in America, brother. Like you got like one of like 500 Corvettes. That's
I
impressive.
can go ahead and get on another thing. Corvettes is the anniversary cars for the C8s. Ain't they've done like every year an
Yeah, they
anniversary? I
have.
believe it's like how's it an anniversary if it's every year?
Yeah.
Like
They did that with the Catfish Camaro. I mean, they did that. I'm pretty sure with Fitchin at some point. Like there was a 2010
they
anniversary.
did.
Yeah.
No, it was a 12 or 13. I can't remember.
Okay, but yeah, they. I mean, like you said, they do an anniversary like every year. It's crazy. Like, what's the point of having the rarity of an anniversary car if you're just gonna have it every like 3 years come out with one?
They do it like every year with the C8.
They'd be like a girlfriend and boyfriend in high school. Like, it's our 2 week anniversary.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that ain't nothing, brother. Like I would get it if like Camaro did an anniversary for like you said their 2012 car because they went out of production for so long and then came back. That's kind of monumental.
The Camaros they've done have been fine. It's the Corvettes they do like every year.
It's just a marketing ploy. I mean, if you really want to get down to the logistics of why they do that, I mean, it's obvious. They just want to sell more cars, and that Boomer man, he wants that super rare C6 or C5, whatever, what have you.
Whatever you can get.
I'm waiting to do our whole episode on us pretending to be Corvette guys. That's gonna be so much fun. Like,
I'll be a Corvette guy one day, so we can really go with it then.
yeah. So that's. I mean, do you have anything that you left out? I'm pretty clear. My list is clear.
I can't think of anything I've not mentioned.
I'm sure there's more, and I'm sure we could revisit this pretty regularly because I just kind of thought of this topic last minute, and I'm like, man, that is a freaking really good
We
idea.
always be on Marketplace. We're always seeing red flags.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do. Just real quick, man. I know I've told you before, but I just think it's funny. My coworker, man, he'll be like, "You ever just go on Marketplace and see something you just absolutely can't afford?" Like, he's real crazy about imports. He'll like talk about R34s. Like, you ever just see an R34? No good and well, you'll never be able to afford it. And go, "Hey, man, is this still available?" And they're like, "Yes." And he's like, "Oh, all right, just checking."
Just had to make sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of the guy that keeps things in order here. I just love that so much.
Taking a survey.
Yeah, yeah. I'm here to take down listings that aren't available no more. With that being said, let's throw it to our ad break, then we'll get into our gaming topic. So Jordan, I mean, it's always been a thing, as you know, the whole trend with movies, there being film adaptations of video games. We've seen it before, but as we've seen recently, we have two ends of the spectrum, and that's the topic that I wanted to focus on today, which we probably talked about it before, but I wanted to do a whole topic about it because there's a lot of areas we can go in depth on with this topic. We've seen the Mario movie. I haven't seen it, but I mean, I think you can agree. We kind of heard it was mid, maybe even like bad. Some people. But
Mario's a simp, apparently. That's all I know.
for real, and that's so weird. It had such a crazy cast. I thought for sure this was going to be a really good movie. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but I've heard it was kind of eh. I would go and see it if I was an avid moviegoer, but it takes me a pretty good movie to get me to spend $8 on a box of popcorn and like whatever
For sure.
movie ticket costs. But on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, which I never played Last of Us, but I did watch the series. My wife, she loved the series or loved the game, and she's like tried to talk me into it. And I'm like, you know what? I'll watch it with you. And I never even played the game, but I thoroughly enjoyed the series. It was fantastic. I don't know if you kept up with it or not.
Yeah, I did. I've watched all of the recent episodes.
It was really, really good. And of course, we have FNAF coming out this October, and I'm super excited to take a big group of dudes and go see that. That's going to be fun. Take some of the boys. That is a good example of a movie I will be seeing in theaters because I've always loved watching like Markiplier play FNAF. I've always been a pretty big FNAF fan.
I've never watched any gameplay or nothing.
It's man, it's a crazy concept for a game. Like it's so simple, but like they did such a great job with it.
For sure, they definitely got their own fan base.
Yeah, a cult fan base, I would even say. Like it's people are pretty crazy about it, especially like the lore. Like such a simple game, and they go deep, man. The newest game, like it's not just sitting still, like you're actually like roaming around. Like the newest game, you're in like a Chuck E. Cheese style like megaplex, and it's such a freaking huge
Yeah,
game.
I think I saw some gameplay of that when it came out.
It's so deep, man. It's really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that, which I've never played any of the games. I've always just, played vicariously through whoever I'm watching. But yeah, I guess I've got a few games listed, and I'd like to take the time to go in depth. I want the listener to keep in mind that I want to consider that if the franchise, how easy it would be for them to do a bad job with it just as much as a good job with it. Because theoretically, if we're just saying every movie could be as good as possible, I mean every show is going to be good if they do it well. But you also have to consider the complexity of the game, and if things are left out, how that would affect us as the gamer going and watching the movie. So I want you to keep that in mind as we go forward, that we can't just say everything is going to make a good show, because in all reality, there's going to be stuff that's left out, and it's going to suck, and it's going to hurt
some
us.
games like set in the future, like you just can't recreate some things.
Yeah, and I mean, in a way, if we go into it with good faith, thinking, man, they're gonna kill this, like it's gonna be an awesome movie, and then they like crush our souls, like that's you gotta keep that in mind too, because that would be terrible, man. But of course you and I thought about an extra point to go along with this game. So Call of Duty, of course, we brought up last time, so we might as well talk about it first. But I want you to kind of argue with me about if we had to choose in a perfect world, we had to choose which storyline it had to be based about, whether that be the Black Ops storyline or the Modern Warfare storyline.
So can we consider World at War with the Black Ops? I know it doesn't really correlate exactly. It's Treyarch.
I wasn't considering that. I was considering from Black Ops 1 to I would 4. Go. I don't 4 didn't have a story, but 5 I guess.
Oh yeah.
Cold War
3. And then Cold War, yeah.
But I mean, the main story kind of stopped at 3. That was going to be my argument too. You know, I expected myself. The more I thought about it,
Cold War's in between 1 and 2, so I mean we can count it.
Yeah, you're right. The more I thought about it, I went into this kind of thoughts being I'm a Black Ops guy through and through, the whole Mason Woods and everything. But the more I thought about it, which I've only played Modern Warfare 3, but going by everything you've told me about the previous Modern Warfares and also what I know about 3, it seems like it would make a better show or movie if they did the Modern Warfare. Because it's and you tell me what you think about this. I think it seemed like Black Ops never had the gall to kill off a main character, but Modern Warfare, dude, they got my boy Soap, they got everybody, dude.
Gaz.
But I mean, if you can think back, I can't think of any main character that died in Black Ops. The Black Ops franchise. Bowman, yeah. Mason got injured. Was that Mason?
Weaver.
Okay.
Weaver died.
I don't know. It just none of those deaths seemed impactful enough to rival against the God, dude. Like I was heartbroken whenever I was having.
What was it? Menendez? Did he die?
Yeah. Right. Well, I think he ended up coming back, and you see him in 3 as a cameo. He's like locked up. I think that's where the branching storyline came in. You could kill him, or you could like leg him, shoot him in the leg. I think.
Well, I guess either way, we consider you kill him, you lock him up, you get the bad guy.
Yeah.
And then Black Ops 1, you get, what's his name? Zakaya? No. What was his name? I can't remember.
I never played Black Ops 1 story, so...
Man, Black Ops 1 had a really good story. It probably... See, COD 4 had probably the best story, and I would love to see that in a movie or film of some type.
If they did Call of Duty with how many games are in Call of Duty, they'd almost have to do a show because I think a movie would get cut down so bad.
You gotta watch COD 4 campaign. COD 4 just changed the world when it came out, dude.
Yeah. I don't. The more I think about Modern Warfare, though, it's so like the story isn't really that hard to follow. Everything's pretty compact. Like it follows the same teams to the ultimate, end point. And with the Black Ops, yes, it does sound like a good premise. The whole, especially the mind games that come into play during Cold War, and 3. I think
Black Ops 1. I mean, just with the whole brainwashing.
Yeah. So there's a lot of mind games and. I feel like it would be easier for a non-gamer, like somebody who hasn't played the game, to enjoy the show if it was like Modern Warfare, because not only is it modern, it's easy to follow. There's tragedy in towards the end, especially, with the whole man. It's so crazy to think of how that would be shot in a show with the whole you shooting. Who do you shoot on mistake? I can't remember.
Black Ops.
Oh, is that in the Black Ops?
Yeah, you shoot Woods.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I got that completely confused. Man, yeah, that does belong to Black Ops, so that does kind of make it hard. That was one of my main heart pulls going towards Modern Warfare, but yeah, that is Black Ops. I don't know. You tell me what you think.
I got Modern Warfare, dog.
I think so too, because you've got such charming characters on the Black Ops side or Modern Warfare side. Because Black Ops is more nitty gritty. Mason, Woods, all those are really they're gritty and tough. But you got Price, who's kind of charming and witty, and he's just I don't know.
This is my all-time favorite, dog.
Yeah, he's just like he's got that comforting like English accent. I just think Modern Warfare. But we also have the ultimatum of if it was made poorly, like how much would that affect you, like your heart attachment to the game campaign?
Either one that would hurt me just as bad, honestly.
Would you say it would be worth them messing it up to see it come to
I
fruition?
I would pay to see.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of feel like it would be hard for them to mess that up because I mean it's pretty concise. You know, everything.
I mean,
is,
you know, like they're not going to do it like they're not going to do it the exact same.
mission
They're
per
going to change
mission.
some shit up.
But I mean, like you would see all the main missions like all gillied up, no Russian.
I would want to see all gillied up for sure. That would have to be in.
That would be an intense episode, dude. Like pins
Yeah,
and needles.
for sure.
Yeah, you know.
I got another game I want to mention.
Okay.
That I really think would be like it would be my favorite of any.
Yeah.
Gears of War.
Okay.
The like 1 through 3. Sheesh, man, the story on that was probably my favorite game story of all time.
Yeah, I never got to play Gears of War, but I remember, man, especially back whenever we first met, when you were showing me Barbecue Dan the Man, you were like, man, this game, you need to play Gears, and I never got to play it.
It was the game, dude. The story on it's so good.
I guess
I would love to see that. I would think it'd be hard to mess it up, honestly. It's such a love story.
Yeah, I guess if I'll bring up a game that you wouldn't really be able to attest to that much, but I've been playing a lot of Grounded, which is a like Honey I Shrunk the Kids kind of style game. I feel like that would make a awesome action horror movie. If it's not already.
I think that'd be pretty interesting.
Especially people with like arachnophobia, like that would be. They would just have to find some way. Which, you know, there is kind of a story in the game. You know, you're trying to figure out why you got shrunk and how to unshrink yourself, which is a pretty simple premise. But that would be one of those games. It probably wouldn't make a great. I mean, it probably wouldn't make a great movie. I would probably go see it just because it's grounded. But I definitely would not be devastated if it was terrible. And honestly, that would be one of those like horror movies that I would kind of almost expect it to be a little corny or cheesy, and I would go just to have a laugh.
I got a honorable mention.
Okay.
I don't know if it could be like a short movie.
Yeah.
Lunch Lady.
Yeah. Yeah. That would make a good.
I would watch that.
Honestly, that'd make like a good project for like a YouTube animator. That would be a great YouTube short.
I need to see like Mr. Beast donate to Lunch Lady some victims.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. I just trapped a bunch of kids in a school with a escaped lunch lady from death row.
Do you ever go through you go on Steam and see like photos like under the games like that people post? God, you need to see the Lunch Lady ones. They are too good.
Yeah, I love going and seeing those, especially like Castle Miner. It's just got like weird pixel art in like a game that's Castle Miner.
So I think we could kind of both agree on this. Dead Island could definitely be a good one.
It's on my list. Yeah. Man, wouldn't you be a little heartbroken if they did like a god awful job with it though? Like
I mean, not really. The game wasn't like polished, so I guess I wouldn't expect the movie to be.
You know, I will say if they had cameos in it to stuff that only gamers would understand, like the
where the hell did I put that?
Yeah, that and like the weird PC modded weapons, like the shotgun, like if they just have at the end credits like a pickup 4x4 flying across the sky and a guy blasting a shotgun in the passenger, that would make my whole like story.
Yeah. It would be good for sure.
Yeah, that's one thing that I was disappointed about, Dead Island 2 was the lack of cameos from the original series.
I know. I really wish we would have saw more.
They had the perfect opportunity.
So I think you probably got this one right down too. GTA 5, I mean...
I do, yes, I do. Well, I mean,
who would not watch that?
Actually, I have GTA in general because I wanted to see...
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good GTAs.
Which GTA would you like... Which GTA would make the best movie is the argument I wanted to have.
I would really like San Andreas.
Yeah, Big Smoke, dude.
Vice City.
But GTA 4 was kind of crazy too.
GTA 4 was good too, man.
You know, and it's like I feel like that would be
I think we all know GTA 5 though is the best story.
Yeah, it is. Trevor, you know, and Trevor's even like an actual actor. He's modeled after an
Yeah,
actor.
I mean they all are. They're all real actors.
Yeah, I agree. GTA 5 with the whole aspect of everything, it would make it'd probably make the best story just because of how like in depth it is.
You know it would sell. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no way it wouldn't.
I 100% agree.
They could have like multiplayer memes and shit too.
Could you imagine? Oh my god, if I saw like a hover bike flying across the sky in the end credits, I'd just shut it off. I'd be like, man, why you gotta ruin my credits for? Ruin my game, you ruined my credits. Just have
They're
like
self-aware.
oh my god, I could just imagine like small cameos, like the opening scene, like Michael goes to buy something and he hands the cashier a shark card.
Yeah. Take my money.
What about Need for Speed? That's another one that you kind of it would be kind of cool to nail down one particular game for them to focus on.
Well, they did have a movie, Need for Speed, but I don't really think it had any reference to do with the game other than the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are you talking about more like a Most Wanted style, or?
I don't know, because see, you had that big change of pace whenever Most Wanted came out, because every game before Most Wanted was all based around racing. There was no cops in it whatsoever, and then from Most Wanted on out, you know, cops became a super big deal.
I would really like to see one with cops. I think it reflects modern street racing.
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty good. I would like to see takeovers in it. I would like to see a meme about someone getting smacked by a boat.
Oh my god, yeah, that would be perfect. Yeah, that, you know, I wanted to argue Need for Speed Underground series because Underground and Underground 2 is so popular, but at the same time, you have that aspect of there's no cops in it, which is great, you know, if you're a gamer, but from the aspect of a movie, like, that would add a whole new element to it. That would be so cool. So,
yeah.
If there was, like, a way to mesh Need for Speed Underground series with, like, you know, cops, that would be the perfect movie, man, in my opinion.
Yeah, Midnight Club, too, I guess you could kind of throw in there.
Yeah. So what?
I know you got another game here.
Okay, go for it. I tried to pick games that me and you have both played so we could have top.
Yeah, I already know you got this one down.
Okay.
Ark.
I think that'd be a bad idea. I think that'd be a horrible idea.
We got Vin Diesel already, dog. Yeah, I think it would be hard to take. So it depends. Do you want to do a multiplayer or single player?
Well, they've got the perfect story to follow with Rockwell and all the characters that are already in the lore. But
I would like to see that.
In my opinion, if they messed it up, that is my most favorite and treasured game. If they messed it up, I'd be like so gut wrenched. Like I would walk out of the theater.
I'd like to see a whole Rockwell series. You know, they already teased at the one.
I've literally I've spent 8 hours. I think there's like an 8-hour documentary breaking down all the stories in Ark. I've listened to those at work before because I'm so invested in believe me, I would love to see it, but I would be heartbroken if they messed it up or did this series wrong.
No, for sure, I agree.
Another one that personally I don't think would make a good movie just because of the depth of the game is Skyrim, because the amount of side quests, like half the time you don't even know that the main quest is because of how invested you are in side
quests. Skyrim would be a good one. It would be a long one. It'd be like Lord of the Rings or something. It'd be a long series.
But there'd be if they had cameos to side quests, that would be amazing because man, there's cult followings on those side quests, especially like the Dark Brotherhood arc, the dragon, not the Dragonborn, but the whoever the Dragonborn people are, you know,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
Yeah, but
they wear the armor.
Yeah,
Dragonbone.
Yeah, all those story arcs, man. That would be it would be a shame to not see them exercise all those side quests, which I knew would be impossible.
There's so much lore to that game. I think it would just be good.
And if there's not a scene in there where a guy says something about an arrow and an E, I'm out. I am OUT.
There would have to be.
And if they don't,
there's no way.
If they don't open it with the classic "oh, now you're awake" or whatever, however it goes, man, that'd be such a good movie, man. Skyrim's so awesome, dude. There'd be so many sweaty nerds inside that theater, and I'd be one of those sweaty nerds. I ain't even gonna lie.
And what else?
I've got Halo. I've got no shortage of games here. I
Yeah,
got a
no, I
lot.
like Halo. They've had some series for Halo, but it's not like had Master Chief in it directly, you know?
So I wouldn't mind seeing like the non Master Chief stuff. Like Halo Reach had a really cool story. Same thing with Halo
Most of
ODST.
them are like ODST
Yeah,
and Marine face. Like it's not actually Spartan based.
but like you said, yeah, anything following Master Chief would be a man. That'd just be the same thing as the Lord of the
Yeah,
Rings
I'd
thing.
like to see Arbiter story too.
Yeah, I mean, like, especially whenever you go from 2 to 3, you start seeing the brutes show up, and then
Yeah.
maybe in 3 there was some of it, but 3 to 4 definitely the floods show up, and
Oh, Halo 2 is where the Flood originally showed up, I think.
oh wow, I didn't
The
even.
end of it.
Okay, so I mean, just Halo 1 would make a great movie, especially at the end whenever you're like in the Warthog trying to rush through that like blowing up bridge or structure or whatever it is. That might have been Halo
Yeah.
2, but I just have like images in my head. I'm talking about a game that I haven't played in like
Yeah, that's Halo 2. You're running from the Flood and the ship blowing up behind you.
yeah. Halo in and of itself, I would, man, I'd love to see a movie of it.
Yeah.
Uh, I've
Halo is good. I guess we can kind of lump these two together. Left 4 Dead and Back for Blood. You know,
okay.
something that style I would like to see.
I thought about it, but then again, I kind of thought, what? I don't know. The story seems so like Walking Dead to me, where it's just like it's the same thing over and over again. It's like you got to go do something, and you got to go back to a safe room. You got to go do something.
The
You got to
Left
go back
4
to a
Dead
safe room.
one would be better, I think, because Back for Blood story really I don't follow as, hard.
It gets a lot better with the DLC with the Crone. Me and Trish
Yeah.
just finished the extra add-on DLC. It got really good with like the whole how they infest people or like turn their brains. I don't know how they do it, but it got kind of good towards the end with the lore. I will say the original story had like hardly any lore other than like we need to stop this and that's all. Like what caused it? Who cares? We just need to stop it.
Pretty much.
I got a little bit of a weird one for you. I've got some good ones still, but I wanted to hit on kind of one out of left field. So I had this idea of Sims, okay? But the whole thing is like, what if there is like one Sim that realized, whoa, man, I'm being controlled by someone, and then there's like a whole like big office in the sky that's like that's the player, that's what's controlling everybody, and there's just like there's this whole mission to figure out
Hmm.
what's going on, and like that one sim slowly
You got to
starts
get out of the simulation.
yeah, like that one sim like spreads it around, and like I don't know, I'd like this whole idea of like there's just like going to be cult meetings in the basement about like how they're going to
That would be
overthrow.
a good one, yeah, honestly.
It'd be like a Dale Gribble kind of thing, rest his soul. Like just they're watching us, we might all be in the Sims. Here's another one out of left field. I don't know. I kind of was like freeballing at this point, but if you look at it from this aspect, that they've had such cool trailers and like I don't know if you followed them before, but Clash of Clans game trailers and stuff like that, they actually have stories and
I
stuff.
like them, yeah, they're fun to watch.
That'd kind of be like a cool little like mini series show thing if like Clash of Clans like actually had a whole like premise of like going to war and all this other stuff. So
Yeah, I would enjoy that, honestly.
that sounds like something that would make a cool little like show on HBO or something. I thought that was kind of cool to think about. They could even do like a cameo to like Clash Royale. That'd be so funny.
Trying to think. I think Deep Rock Galactic kind of could be fun.
Yeah, they've definitely got the mission variety that would give good episodes. So
It
we
would get a little repetitive, I think, though.
you never finished it, but maybe you saw some videos. I think The Forest would make a awesome horror movie.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
The whole having to go get your kid thing and like finding
Yeah, that's just a great story, really.
and the second one goes even like deeper in like lore and like it's so good. I think The Forest would be one of the good ones that I honestly, if they messed it up, I just go into horror movies trying not to be scared by kind of making a joke out of it. So any horror movie, I'm just like, if I get scared, I'm not kind of big fan of being scared, but I can kind of make a joke out of it and enjoy it. So if I get let down by a horror movie, that's no big deal for me personally.
Yeah, another game they've made series out of is The Witcher. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either, and I've played some of the game. And just by going by the game, it seems Skyrim-esque. It's like you can't really walk too
Yeah,
far without running into a side quest, unfortunately. But I mean, it's got a cult following. It's a really good game from everything I've heard, and I've really enjoyed the small amount I've played on it.
yeah, I can't disagree there for sure. It's one of the most critically acclaimed games there is.
So this one you kind of have to base the premise around yourself. They would have to make ideas around this because it's not a set story. But I like the idea of 7 days of like them having 7 days to get ready for something ungodly getting ready to
That
happen.
yeah, that would honestly be super good. Just The Witcher on Steam has 665,000 reviews and it's overwhelmingly positive.
Oh yeah,
So, I mean, there's a lot of support for that.
yeah. I mean, and I mean it just goes to show why they had to make a show about it because it's just got such a good big following, good following too at that.
Sure.
But yeah, 7 days. I think such a great premise to like of these survivors trying to get ready, and they would have to find some way to implement the information that in 7 days it's going to hit the fan, like kind of Hunger Games style.
Yeah.
They get dropped into like this simulation where they've got to like
Honestly, that would be really fun to see. Yeah.
and that it'd just be so cool to like see like the last like fight scene of them fighting through the seventh night, and then they finally make it through just to like receive a letter like, hey, by the way, you're getting another one of these in 7 days for the rest of your lives. That would just be the funniest thing ever. That'd be the greatest way to end, to be like, oh no, not again. No, that kind of concludes my list unless you have some more. I
Yeah, let me just go through my Steam library here. I don't know if I got much more.
That's literally what I did. I was doing my research. I went through your library and I'm trying to see games that we
Yeah,
both
I
share.
could see Phasmophobia being one for
I thought
sure.
about mentioning that, but I mean it's pretty similar to Paranormal Activity, which is already a
You could
series.
kind of base it off real life events, though, is what I think would be interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, Metal Gear, dude. Metal Gear would be so amazing to see. I didn't even think of that.
I want to bring
I
up.
love Metal Gear. Man, my dad loves it. Like a lot of older people would love that.
We've talked about what about Battlefield? Because you told me that their campaign is really good, which I can't say anything about.
If they did one over Bad Company's campaign, automatic yes for sure.
Really, that good.
I'm telling you, Bad Company's campaign is the campaign. You need to watch like just the movie like edits of them, like just the whole like campaign video one
Yeah,
day. Like they honestly, Bad Company is so good.
I tried listening to the full, complete like Modern Warfare franchise story on like while I was working, but man, it's just
Jeez, that's
like
a long one.
yeah, I think it was like 3 hours, but it's just like I couldn't get into it. I had to watch it. I feel like I just need to play it to really enjoy it, honestly.
You need to do that with Bad Company, man. It's so good.
Yeah. Uh,
Honestly.
I feel like PUBG would make a good like horror or not horror, but good like Hunger Games style like movie.
Yeah, I'm not like super big on it. I think Apex could also have its spot, but
Apex
I
has
don't
so
know.
much lore to it. I think
Yeah, there's a lot of lore. It's just hard to see like the actual gameplay convert to
yeah.
movie.
If they based it just off the lore, I feel like that would be a good movie in and of itself. With Mad Maggie and all that.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of good lore with the characters.
I mean, isn't Octane has like dad issues, doesn't he? Or something like that.
I mean, like half the people in the campaign,
Oh,
or I mean, multiplayer have daddy issues.
okay, I got
I
you.
guess you could kind of, because it ties into Titanfall's story, so I guess you could kind of tie it into Titanfall,
Apex
which would
does?
be a lot better. Yeah, it's Titanfall engine. Like it's all of it's Titanfall really reskinned.
Huh.
But yeah, like Valkyrie, her dad dies in Titanfall 1. You kill him.
Wow. I didn't know all that. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of lore there.
Well, that kind of concludes what I've got. And all in all, and all the things we talked about, I've definitely got my favorites. But if I really had to pick one, I think unironically, I think I want to say not Ark. 7 Days or The Forest would probably be. I don't know. GTA. All of these really. It would really be hard to pick one that would make the best movie, but
GTA
GTA would
is
be
really
great.
good.
Yeah,
Gears of War, I would be hyped.
it's kind of easy for them to do GTA because it's
Destiny,
Destiny. I thought about bringing that up, but I was like, I'm not really. That's kind of all on
I
you.
like Destiny. It's got a really big story, so that could be a big series.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lore in Destiny. I like it. It's just too much of a grinder sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
I got a life.
I got a life. Well, with that being said, I guess we can throw it to a quick outro unless you have something.
That's all.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as we did. If you did, make sure to follow us on social media. You don't want to miss out on the memes that we post there regularly. And also, be looking for next week's episode. You're not going to want to miss it. With that being said, we'll catch you guys next time.